of what will the fiscal borrowing be this year. Remember, the administration is trying to play some games where they're going to try to credit themselves back some of the student loan money that the Supreme Court said they can't spend. So we're actually looking at the real life borrowing number, not the fiscal deficit number, which has a journal entry fraud in it. And as of a couple hours ago, so far this fiscal year, and we still have a couple weeks left, I think we've borrowed $2,158 billion. Now, I don't want to win because I'm the idiot who said we're going to borrow $2,200 billion. Please understand. A year ago, Congressional Budget Office, 2002 May, said this year we'd borrow about $860 billion. Does something seem wrong in those numbers? 860 some billion over here. Now it looks like we're going to borrow 2.2 trillion. And almost every dime of that growth is healthcare costs exploded, particularly in Medicare. Tax receipts have fallen fairly dramatically. So much for this Biden socialized economy. I mean, we've handed out a couple $1 trillion of money to build factories, to subsidize this, to subsidize that. This was actually their modern monetary policy. Okay, you now have proof in the pudding. They set off inflation and tax receipts have actually fallen. You know, I mean, if anyone wants to write an academic paper on monetary, modern monetary policy, you got the laboratory right in front of you. It collapsed. And what's the third thing that's actually gone against us this year? Interest. We've been tracking, bond market has not been treating us kindly. And we were playing with some math the other day, maybe another additional on top of everything else, $160 billion of interest. Now, those are big numbers. Almost no one can process that sort of math. But let's actually walk through it in a way you can all understand. If you look at the last 12 months, we borrow over $72,000. We borrow, not spend, borrow. Because we're borrowing about 30% of all of our spending. We borrow about $72,000 a second. About $20,000 a second is interest. And next year, my math, and look, I'm a little more dour than some of the people around me, but my math has us closing in on $800 billion of borrowing, $800 billion of interest, just interest next year.
Greetings, friends. Please watch out for this. Gas prices are now increasing the inflation rate this fall. Economists have confirmed that this will affect the next cost of living boost for all monthly benefits. Some beneficiaries can expect an above-average payout increase. The Federal Reserve has also released new details on the looming economic recession. So friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video. Also, every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. My friends, please make sure that you enter the giveaway by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Higher gas prices increased overall inflation last month, but the Federal Reserve received some welcome news. Its preferred inflation gauge cooled to its lowest level in 2 years. The Core Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, which is a closely watched inflation measure, rose 3.9% for the 12 months which ended in August. That is the lowest annual increase that the index has seen in 2 years, and it's a positive step towards the Fed's 2% target rate. According to Commerce Department data, on a monthly basis, core personal consumption expenditures grew 0.1%. It is the slowest month-on-month increase since a 0.3% decline in April 2020. Gas prices heated up last month as well. Prices for energy goods and services shot up by 6.1% in August from the month of July. The rising cost of energy may continue to put upward pressure on inflation. Earlier this month, oil prices increased even further after Saudi Arabia and Russia announced their plans to extend production cuts. One expert says that energy prices will eventually bleed through into all other costs. This certainly is a great concern on the part of the Fed, as we do not want to see persistent $90 a barrel oil prices. The Commerce Department's latest Personal Income and Outlays report also showed that consumers pulled back on their spending in August, rising 0.4% versus the upwardly revised 0.9% increase in July. The personal savings rate, which is a savings as a percentage of disposable income, declined for the third consecutive month and fell to 3.9%. And as such, savings are now at their lowest level since December of last year. The combination of higher gas prices in the United States and sluggish income growth could weaken consumer spending in the months ahead. If so, it would mark a slowdown from last summer's healthy pace of spending, which is believed to have fueled solid economic growth in the July through September quarter. Americans' financial reserves are falling at a time when headwinds are picking up speed. Credit card debt is mounting in a historically high interest rate environment. Delinquencies are growing. The labor market is cooling, and wage growth is moderating. Many economists now expect core inflation, a measure by the Fed's preferred gauge, to drop by the end of this year to below the central bank's estimate of 3.7%. That may show sufficient progress for the Fed to avoid any further rate increases this year. For most seniors, Social Security income is a necessity. Based on more than 2 decades of annual surveys by National Pollster Gallup, anywhere from 80% to 90% of retired respondents lean on their Social Security benefit in at least some capacity to make ends meet. Social Security's COLA is a mechanism designed to help beneficiaries keep pace with inflation. For instance, if the price that seniors pay for a basket of goods and services rises from one year to the next, Social Security checks should increase by a reasonable amount to avoid a loss of purchasing power. One of the biggest issues with Social Security's annual COLA is that over long periods, it's done a poor job of keeping up with the inflation that matters the most to seniors. This problem can be traced to the CPIW. Well, my awesome and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, every Friday I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways.